This is the second part of my story. I was depressed, but I had already found for me to explain why I have cancer. A few days later, the lymph nodes under the right arm was removed. Also in the lymph nodes was the cancer. If the cancer is in lymph nodes, you had a small chance to enjoy a long life. According to the statistics, I only had a life expectancy of 6 to 12 months. I was 29 years old, too young to die. Still in the hospital, I starting to make push-ups. The young doctor caught me when I was doing push-ups. He said to me, "You are crazy. The scar is fresh. You got only a few days after the operation. But I think you have the right attitude to survive this cancer. I don't think you need chemotherapy." After 6 months, I was not dead. After 12 months, I was not dead. But nobody gives you work in Germany because you got cancer. And all the business people think you die. This gives you not a good feeling. I don't like to fall in this hole, in this depression hole. So in the year of 1989, I take my Sherkan and my bike, and we bike 3,500 kilometers in the Eastern and Southern Europe. We crossing Czechia, Slovakia, was in Hungary, and crossing all the states in the Alps. We make 12 Alpes over 2,000 meters high. Just to prove myself, I've been not sick, I have just cancer. When I was at home in the fall of 89, I sold everything. I sold everything, every belongings what I have. With this money, I'm flying in to New York in January of 1990. We crossing the eastern United States, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine. We're going into Canada, to New Brunswick, biking the St. John's River down, take the ferry to Nova Scotia, and biking to Halifax. From there, we're taking a 36,000 ton container ship, the RSL Cygnus, into St. John's, Newfoundland. I was lucky because I was in the coldest week than 25 years ago. After a couple of days, I got frostbite on hand and feet. A truck brings me into Corner Brook. In Corner Brook, in the harbor of Corner Brook, the ISL Cygnus was still there. The harbor was frozen over. The ASL sickness stuck. But I got to ride back to Halifax. From Nova Scotia, we biked on the St. Lawrence River up to Rivière-des-Loups. From there, we take the ferry over the St. Lawrence River and going in to Quebec City. In Quebec City, I've looked for the Canadian Cancer Society because after 3 months I need a checkup for me. That's mean X-ray, blood test, etc. to find out I'm cancer free or not. The people from the Cancer Society laughed at me and said, when you have $400, it's no problem. I tried my luck with the Fondation Québécoise de Cancer in Montreal. And they say, oh, we will find for you a checkup. The doctor was make the checkup, ask me, you like to talk to cancer patients? And I tell him what I have to tell them. And he say, what you do? And I say, I like just to live. Right. This what you have to tell to these people. The next day, in the Fondation Québécoise de Cancer, was 25 cancer patients, 2 big newspapers, La Presse and Journal de Montréal, a TV station and a radio station. I was close to a heart attack because I'm talking never to people, even not to a running camera or radio. But I'm starting to talk. And people starting to cry. And I say, wow, what I have done now with my bad English. Because the first English what I got was, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts and stop smoking. So I learned it in the airplane. But the doctor says this was everything what you tell was fine. But this people feeling sorry for himself. And now they see someone, he fight with his life. He fight with his life. He like. Now I got a new destination. I know now I can help people with my story. The idea was normally going to the Niagara Falls and going down to New York and flying home because I got no money for a big trip crossing Canada. I make a little sign on my trailer, fight cancer. And from this time on, the Canadian people was very helpful. We crossed the prairie from Winnipeg over Saskatoon to Edmonton on the Yellowhead Highway. Jesus Christ, this was a boring bike trip. This was so boring. I make picture from my shadow. I count the time when a truck passed me. I count the time when he disappeared in front of my eyes. We're going into Edmonton, down to Calgary. We was a special guest in the Calgary Stampede. We going up in the Rocky Mountains, high to Banff, biking down in BC to Vancouver. From Vancouver, we biked up to Prince George, Watson Lake, and Whitehorse, the capital city of the Yukon territories. We're going into Dawson City and biking from there over the Dempster Highway 800 kilometers to Inuvik. The Dempster Highway is a one-way street. That means I have to go back from Inuvik to Dawson City on this gravel road. The landscape was also amazing. I saw a black mark on my right ankle, and I know this is another malignant melanoma. Right now I was in the middle of nowhere. I have to be hurry. From the former gold town, Dawson City, we crossed the Yukon and going up to the top of the World Highway. Another 800 kilometers gravel road. After I passed the junction to Eagle, Alaska, I make a break. For sure, my dog, Shere Khan, runs without leash. And I make a break and I make my lettuce sandwich. I put salami on it, a brown leather, a little bit ketchup. And my Shere Khan comes out of the bushes behind the black bear, running to me and sit behind me. I was paralyzed because this black bear was 3 meters in front of me, going up and yelling. I dropped my sandwich and I don't know what I do, I can't do anything. I was paralyzed. I was lucky Shere Khan don't bark or make something so the bear getting afraid and attacks me. The bear goes down, yelling again, going up, yelling. I never forget this. And he goes back. And Shere Khan ate my sandwich. On the border to Alaska was nobody. So I go a little bit farther. Because I saw Boundary must be a town. Because it was in the map. It was nothing there. So I got no more food. We're biking down to Chicken, Alaska, on this time of year was closed. There was nobody there. But I find some people to give me a little bit food so I can continue to Tok, Alaska. From Tok, Alaska, We're going into Fairbanks.